Okay, I'm going to take you through the routine I go through whenever I get into a new boat, the things I look for and the things I check. First thing I check is mast hook position. What you need to do is take a tape measure from the front of the mast at the heel down there, all the way along the floor, out through the transom flap, and measure to the outside skin of the boat. So take tape measure from the front of the mast at the heel, along the floor, out through the transom flap to the outside. You should measure, when you pull the tape tight, 3050 millimetres. Okay, next thing I check is the rudder blade. Check that the blade got no damage to the leading edge, no damage to the trailing edge, nice smooth finish, it's all evenly profiled, just like this one, proper. Then check the stock, make sure that the blade and the stock are a tight fit. Okay, there should be no movement between the blade and the stock. Next, check the pintles. Should be no movement where the pintles on the rudder join the pistons on the boat. Should be no movement at all there. Next, check the tiller, where the tiller joins into the boat, into the stock. Should be no movement there at all. That should be solid. Finally, check your tiller extension joint. If there's any sign of damage on the joint, then replace it. It should be a nice solid fit. A bit of tape around there just to stop it coming unswept is a good idea. Okay, so the whole system should be firm and tight. When you pull the downhaul down, it should lock down very firmly. You shouldn't be able to lift the blade up, so that when you go sailing, it stays where you leave it. Okay, so it should be a really good, solid fit. Next thing to check is forestay tension. Push the back of the gate, and the forestay should just come tight. Once you've established that position, mark it on your adjuster, and that's your standard setting. While you're looking at the mast gate, you should check that the mast is a tight fit sideways, and there's no movement sideways. Okay? So, mast onto the back of the gate, forestay should just be tight, and mark that position. From there, in very light airs, you can let the forestay off two full holes on the forestay adjuster, and in very heavy airs, you can let it off one hole. This just increases your fore and aft bend and frees up the leach. Next, we're going to check shroud tension. Push the mast so it's 5 millimetres from the front of the gate. At that point, the shroud should just come tight. Mark that position on your shroud adjuster so you don't lose it. You need to make sure you've got a chock that's just thick enough to fit in the gap between the front of the mast and the front of the gate, and then attach it to the mast with some elastic like that so it doesn't drop out. And it should just fit, just slot into the gap, just there. The chock should stay in all the way from the drifter up to being fully overpowered. Once you're fully overpowered, you can't hold the boat flat upwind. Just lift the chock out, leave it hanging on its elastic so it's out of the way. Never put the chock in the back, because that makes the shrouds too tight and makes you go slow downwind in light airs. Next, lower the board fully and check that it's a nice firm fit in the case. There should be no movement sideways. The board should be fair all the way along the leading edge. Should be no lumps and bumps out of it. If there are, then repair them. Same with the trailing edge. With the board fully down and the handle up against the board, there should be 25 millimetres forward rake on the board. You need to measure that by taking a right angle off the bottom of the boat and extending it up through the leading edge. There should be 25 mil of forward rake. That's your fully down position. You need then to move the board up so that the leading edge is vertical, so that it's at right angle to the bottom of the boat, and mark that position on your handle. The next position is lift the board until the trailing edge is vertical, and mark that position on your handle. So you should have 3 positions marked on your handle. Fully down with forward rake, that's for when you're not sat out. As soon as you sat out, you should have the leading edge vertical, and as soon as you're starting to get overpowered, lift it until the trailing edge is vertical. And then as the wind increases more, just keep lifting to depower the boat and keep the rudder light. The first solo training video shows how to set up all your controls and what they do. What I'm going to do now is take you through each control and try and explain when to use them and how not to pull them. So we'll start with the Cunningham. The Cunningham you shouldn't use until you're fully overpowered. Once you're fully overpowered, you'll have quite a lot of mass bend, and you'll start to get some distortion at the front of the sail, which will show itself as these diagonal creases, which you can see coming away from the lock. If I just pull the kicker a bit harder, that should make them even worse. Once you start to get those creases and you're starting to get overpowered, then you should use the Cunningham. And what the Cunningham does is open up the upper leech of the sail and lose some power out the top of the sail and allow you to foot faster. So once you get overpowered, you're not that interested in pointing, you need to start pulling the Cunningham on, free up the leech, and the boat will go quicker and be easier to sail. So if I pull the Cunningham on, I'll show you what it does. You can see the top of the sail get flatter and the leech open as the fullness is drawn to the front of the sail, so there's less support for the leech and the leech falls away. So as soon as you're starting to get overpowered, you need to use the Cunningham, pull it on, and the leech will open, and it'll make the boat easier to sail and make it faster in a breeze. You can see that it also bends the mast a little bit more as well, and that depowers the rig for you as well. So when you're going upwind and you're starting to get overpowered, start to use the Cunningham to depower the rig. Next control is the outhaul. That controls the depth in the bottom third of the sail. In light airs, you should be sailing with about 50 mil of depth in the bottom of the sail. So if you measure from the edge of the sail to the middle of the boom, there should be about 50 mil of depth there. That's in light airs. As soon as there's enough wind to sit out, that will just stretch out to be 100 mil. So if you left it in the same place, it just stretch out to be 100 mil of depth. So your setting for light airs and medium airs will be the same. In light airs, just leave the outhaul in the same setting all the way around the course. In medium airs, set it with 100 mil of depth upwind. When you go downwind, let the outhaul off all the way, so the soft length foot goes horizontal, and you start to get some distortion in the bottom of the sail. That's as deep as the sail will go. You should have a knot in your control line that just hits the bottom of the boom when the control line goes up and stops at that point. So you can uncleat it and it won't go out too far, it'll just stop there. That's your setting your medium airs for going downwind. If it's windy and it's a broad reach, leave it on that setting. If it's a fairly tight reach and you're overpowered, then don't let it off. Once it gets windy and you're starting to get overpowered, then pull the outhaul on so the sail's out to the black band and there's no depth in the very foot of the sail. So the edge of the sail is over the middle of the boom. That's as flat as the sail will go. So flatten the sail right off once you get fully overpowered. So that will be sail out to the black band or bottom of the sail dead flat on the middle of the boom. Next controls are the main sheet and the traveller, which work together to control the leech of the mainsail upwind. So with a combination of traveller position and main sheet tension, you can control where the position of the end of the boom is and how tight the leech on the mainsail is. You should start in light airs with the traveller in the middle of the boat and fairly light sheet tension, just enough main sheet tension so that the top sail on the end of the top batten is just flying. If it starts to stall, you've got too much main sheet tension on and you just need to ease a little bit. As the breeze increases, you should gradually ease the traveller down, and that allows the boom to go out, and you can use more main sheet tension to tighten the leech again, just tight enough that the top batten starts to stall at the tail. Any more than that, and you need to just ease again. So in light airs, the end of the boom should be positioned just above the inside edge of the tank. As the breeze picks up and you're nearly sitting out, the boom should go out so that it's over halfway between the outboard end of the tank and the inside edge of the tank. So with a combination of travel position and main sheet tension, you should be able to achieve that. Once you're starting to get overpowered, just keep letting the traveller out and using more and more main sheet tension. That will flatten the mainsail off and tighten the leech up, so you'll still be able to point, but it'll take the power out of the mainsail. In a breeze, you should end up with a boom about 300 mil outside the edge of the boat. So with a combination of main sheet and traveller position, the boom will gradually move out as you tighten the leech. You start in the middle with light main sheet tension. As the breeze comes up, you use more main sheet. Remember to let the traveller out, or the boom will be close to the centre and the boat will be stalled. So keep letting the traveller down as you pull the main sheet harder. Kick is the least important control on the boat when you're going upwind. You should only be using it when it's very windy and gusty and you're struggling to control the boat just using main sheet and travel position. If you get to that point, then pull the kicker on hard and use it to bend the mast and flatten the sail, and that'll make the boat more controllable. The problem with that is when you come to tack, the boom's low and the leech is tight and you don't have much margin for error. You're either liable to crunch your head going through the tack or dig the boom in the water as you exit the tack. So it's a good idea to just let a couple of feet of kicker off as you go into each tack, just to make the boat more controllable. And then pull it on again as you come out of the tack.